Coach, first of all, congratulations on such a memorable season. So many accomplishments that we'll get into. But as you're sitting here, when you look back, what is the very first memory or moment that comes to mind?
The overtime goal in Allentown. It was, and the celebration that followed.
Absolutely. And you've spoken so much about the leaders this season. Carson Dick and how he kept negativity out of the locker room, Simon Mack on and off the ice. I could go on. How much do you feel like they've contributed to this season?
Yeah, immensely. There's no chance that we get out of the basement, let alone go to the Frozen Four without them. But it was their contributions as leaders that really made the difference in this season. And as we've said many times, I mean, there's leaders that are really good when things are going well. There's a lot of those, but very few can lead in positive ways when things are going south. And never forget that we were winless in the first 9 games in Big Ten. And I think it could have gone further south very easily. And the fact that the leadership group stepped up and turned it around is incredible.
And you've gotten to see a few of your players start to accomplish their dreams, take that next step with RC and Simon. I'm sure a few more are going to follow, but how special is that?
It is special. It's always great to see, and especially, I guess, for someone specifically like Simon Mack, who came here, was given nothing, actually, and earned every second of ice that he got and turned it into an opportunity in many different roles. To see someone just come and develop year after year after year and get to a point where he is able to sign an NHL contract, boy, it's really gratifying and wonderful to see from everybody's standpoint. All Penn State hockey supporters are very proud to see that.
And when you think back to when things first started to turn around, those back-to-back upsets, the comeback era, before tournament play, what was your favorite win there?
I think, there's one here against Minnesota that I think meant a lot, because we never really looked at it as that, boy, we're coming. And it just sort of, the way things turned out, we played, I think before we might have played Michigan State, it was at the time ranked at the top of the nation. And then Minnesota maybe was at that time number 1 as well, that we played them next week. And what made it special, though, is when we were at Minnesota early in the year, we lost both. And we lost one of them in dramatic fashion. It was a 0-0 game that we lost with less than 30 seconds to play. And so with that memory sort of fresh, we were able to come back here to Pagula. The place was rocking, and Doc scored in overtime to win. And I think it really gave the team a bunch of confidence, thinking, man, you know what, we're not bad.
And to shift the focus to your favorite topic, I know how you're going to answer this question, but you reached 400 career wins this season, which is a huge, huge accomplishment. How does that motivate you as a coach?
That's not why you coach, so it's not motivating.
Mm-hmm.
It's really motivating to see a team pull out of, a bad season. It's motivating to see Simon Mack really develop, and those are the motivating things. I don't think winning is a lot of fun, and I think winning is a byproduct of doing things right and really being a part of watching a leadership team do things right. That's what's gratifying and motivating.
And you made it back to the NCAA tournament, a dominant win on Friday, and then a really memorable one on Sunday. How proud were you of your group?
Extremely proud. And I'm glad you brought up the first night, because that was an unbelievable game. The second night was so dramatic. What an amazing play by Chuck and a finish by Didi, and obviously to win in overtime, and how RC played and against his former team. And then in all, that win got us to the Frozen Four for the first time. It was extremely dramatic and awesome. But you know what? That first game against Maine was as good a game as I think we played all year. And Maine is an awesome team. I mean, they're number 1 in Hockey East. They won Hockey East. They're a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. They're an excellent team. And hey, the guys pulled together and beat them 5-1, and it was a heck of a game in a lot of areas. I think earlier in the season we had trouble putting our games together, and against Maine we played extremely well defensively, extremely well offensively. We checked our emotions. It was just an excellent game. So yeah, great memories from that weekend.
And as you said, took Penn State to the Frozen Four for the first time, made history. Being on a stage that big, what was the biggest lesson you learned?
I think there's a few. I mean, it was an awesome experience in general, but I think when you talk to the players, we asked them the same question, and I think one of the players answered it really well. He said that, it was how we got there was very dramatic. So you celebrated how dramatic it was, but it was also the first in our program history. So you celebrated that. So it was a big celebration, and what he learned, he said, maybe, the next time, if we're so fortunate to get there, instead of it'll be less of a celebration, more of an opportunity. And I think that's a good lesson. And I think what he said was really important.
And as things have settled down and you've had a minute to look back, what would you say the motto of this season was, or a quote that you think you'll always remember?
Well, I'll give you two. The quote would be "with or without it," and I'll leave it up to you. That's a quote for the team. The mode of it's the way they were positive. That sounds so cliche, but refusing to be negative when it's really easy to be. That was really the motto to me of this season, because without that, we don't get out of the basement. We don't get out of last place, let alone go to the Frozen Four. And for me, I will always remember that. I mean, you're always taught that, but I think I really feel very grateful to really, the guys taught that to all of us, including me this year.
Absolutely. And if we look to next season, your son Mac is coming to Penn State. He had a phenomenal season at Army. How special will that be to have him here and to see him play in white and blue?
Yeah, I feel very blessed for that opportunity. I don't know what it's like. He certainly didn't set out to want to play for me, for sure, but he's watched this Roar Zone. He's seen this atmosphere, and, you know, as commented how cool that would be to play in front of them. So it's something I think is going to be special to him because of that. It's cool how things work out. I don't know what to say. It'll be interesting. I think one of the things that Mac did was talk to the team to make sure that it was how it would be for them. And I think between Mac and I don't think it's going to be that different. I think at the rink, he's a player. I'm a coach, and that's the way it is. But yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for him. Obviously, he's always thought how cool to play for the Roar Zone, in front of the Roar Zone would be. And so to see him do that is going to be cool.
So that'll be interesting next year, but very excited to see how he does here. And then you have Aiden Fink coming back, pretty much everybody coming back. What does that mean to you to see that how much the team wants to be here, wants to come back, wants to get going again?
I think it means that Penn State is an awesome place to be. I think it's an awesome university. I think it speaks to the fact that this athletic department supports its student athletes in great ways that I don't think. Look, I'll be honest, it's not the way they do it here at Penn State is not the way you're going to see everywhere. I mean, we are really fortunate. I mean, we are a little spoiled, but fortunately, the culture of this university and the student body is you don't act spoiled. We know we're a little spoiled, but we don't act spoiled. So it means that we're providing a great experience. It means that they love the experience, and it means that they think they can develop and have a great time. And I'm very, very fortunate to be a part of that.
And lastly, Coach, this season almost feels like a turning point. The expectations have been raised. What are your hopes for the future of Penn State hockey?
Yeah, well, my hopes are that checklist over there is nearly complete. So we've got one go to complete Terry Pegula's vision. And, you know, I think you're right. It does feel a little bit like a turning point in the fact that this can really be done. You know, it can really be done. And that's the goal. So that's the turning point. And the goal is to finish Terry Pegula's vision.
Well, thank you so much, Coach. It's been a pleasure and very excited to see what next season brings.
Thank you very much, Kendall.